Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this special figure showcase and review we're going to be looking at the 2014 MP20 Masterpiece Wheeljack figure. So what we're going to do in this video, we're going to have a detailed look at him in both of his modes, help you decide how you want to display him. We'll have a look at the accessories that come with him to help you know if yours is complete. We will of course do some comparisons with him and his original Generation 1 self. We can see how he looks and I suppose displays with some of the original older Masterpiece figures and indeed some of the newer ones as well that have been released quite recently. I'll do a couple of other size comparisons with some mainline figures as well, just to give you guys who don't collect Masterpiece figures an idea of how big he is as well. But before we get started, I'd like to remind anybody who's not subscribed to this channel, if you'd like to hit that subscribe button for me now please, because it really will help me out. So when he comes and you get him new, or even if you get him second hand, shall we say, the box he should come packaged in is this, and again it's a beautiful box. This is printed on, so it does actually feel raised, it feels lovely, it looks really good, it's nice and sharp, it's reflecting everywhere. You've got Lancia logo there, and on the underside, this is really important to know that yours is an original. You need this sticker there saying it's an official product, which it does right there. Now on the back you can see we've got a picture of him in his alternate mode, and we've got him with MP10 rather than MP01 because MP01 is way bigger, and it also shows that he fits in the back of MP10's trailer. And inside that, this is the packaging that comes along. So he comes in car mode. You've then got his non-firing missile, which is this. You've got his shoulder mounted missile cannon, which to be honest I don't use, I don't like it, I don't think it looks very good on him. And then we've just got a small gun that comes with him, which to be honest I do use that. I think that looks all right, but I'm sure you'll agree, and in fact I'll show you very quickly why I don't like it, and indeed why I don't put it on. Yeah, just because I don't think it suits him. It's just that little bit too big. It doesn't look the greatest. It's on there, it just, no, for me it doesn't really work. They perhaps should have gone with something, I don't know, maybe more like the G1 figure, but I think obviously they're going more for cartoon accuracy, but for me it just doesn't really work. The funny thing is I've worked out how should I say, this is the G1 original. You can see it's a lovely homage to that. It really is, but you could actually do this as well. You could make the Masterpiece more G1-ish. There you go, by shortening his legs rather than having full stretch as well. But again, it's a great homage to this figure. So what I mean about the cannons, now I know these are bigger, but I think because they're further out of the way, if these were more, I know it's obviously more difficult because it'd be on his actual shoulders, and of course these figures are very primitive compared to this. You couldn't really attach this on the shoulder. I think it would look a bit better, and again, you know, maybe these are just that little bit too wide, but I'm perhaps just being overly picky. But there's a good quick comparison with the original one. Much improved figure, obviously. Let's move this original out of the way, and then let's bring him back up to full size robot mode. So as you can see, we've got full articulation at the hips, to the side, to the front. It'll kick out. There's a knee bend, there's an ankle tilt and rock, huge there with the foot, loads of articulation on it. There's a waist swivel as well. The shoulders go out to the side, they go to the front, swivel underneath, bicep flexion, wrist swivel as well, as you'd expect. You know, this is a Masterpiece figure, albeit nearly 10 years old. It's still a Masterpiece figure. The head again is fully articulate all the way around, looks up and down, and to be honest the head sculpt is beautiful. There you go, you can see the eyes there, lovely metallic blue reflecting, Autobot logo on there as well. Everything on this figure, I suppose it's exactly that. It screams Masterpiece. I think it's brilliant. It looks lovely. One thing I am just sort of getting a tiny hint of is maybe a bit of the white plastic just going slightly yellow there, so that is something to be aware of. Again, this figure's nearly 10 years old now, so that is something you should look out for. Another thing with this figure, quite common with the KOs, is loose joints. I've had this one since he came out, and as you can see, no problems with any loose joints whatsoever. These can also be snapped off very easily. They do spring backwards and forwards and are tucked away for transformation. But if you're after one, that is something I'd suggest to see photos in both modes, because you wouldn't know if they were broke, to be honest. I'm going to attach the gun into his hand. These fit, they are gripped, but they fit basically via these tabs into the palm. There's a cutout there where this will fit. And indeed it just sits, so you don't even need to close the hand. To be fair, you can see it just rests in there, but obviously for display purposes it does look better that he's actually holding it. I'll very quickly show you some of the paperwork before we do some more comparisons. I've not even put these on yet. These are a set of wing mirrors for the alternate mode. Now yes, there's 2 sets, and I think that's brilliant in case you damage or lose one. And again, I'll show you that in the alternate mode, but I've not attached them at all because I've kept them in robot mode. Collector's card, again, lovely. Unfortunately, I just can't read Japanese, but there's his specs and his power. A little bit of card there and a full, huge set of instructions. Very, very detailed, to be honest, and for some masterpiece figures it can be quite difficult. This one's not too bad. Now I'm going to upload a tutorial video anyway. If you want to see that, it's not going to be included in this video though. Right, so for those of you who've got no idea how big this figure is, let's bring in some, I suppose, mainline figures right now. So there's a mainline core class figure, there's a mainline deluxe figure. This is a movie mainline Voyager, so he's bigger than that. And although this is one of the smaller, shall we say, leader class figures, whoops, he's still, you know, he doesn't do too bad for size, does he? To be fair with him, he looks good compared to all of that. Obviously, again, you've got to take into consideration price points. Of course, he's a bigger figure. Of course, he's got more articulation. He's at a much higher price than pretty much all of these that I've got out. Right, so for those of you who don't even collect them figures, here's some third party. So there's New Age. Obviously the leaders, there's a Magic Square, and here is a Doctor Wu as well. So of course towers above all them. I'm sure you'll agree, I think he looks great. What we need to do now though, we're going to come back for the second part, final part of the video, and we're going to have a look at him in his alternate mode and see how good that looks, and do a comparison again with his G1 self. I've just thought I didn't bring down these. This is what I need to do. There is, as I say, an older masterpiece figure, and here is a more current one for another size comparison for you. So there you go, stands and holds his own with all them. Now we're definitely going to come back and see him in his alternate mode. So then back for the final time with him in his alternate mode, and I'm getting loads of flashbacks here from Sega Rally as a child. What a beautiful looking alternate mode it is. It really is incredibly nice. Everything lines up as you'd expect. All the detail on it is perfect, even with all the joints, everything, you know, just lines up fantastic. Now these aren't actually rubber tires, although they do look like it. The wheels are also on pins as well, so of course they move independently, and as you can see, it goes backwards and forwards, no problem whatsoever. The, I suppose, translucent window is pretty good. There's nothing too much there giving anything away underneath. From the underside, on the underneath, there's not too much there either as well. We've got the stamp here. Make sure that yours says Tomy on it and not Tony. If it says Tony, it is of course the KO version, which in fact there's a detailed video of that going up about the same time as this as well, so you can help spot between the two. But yeah, love it, really like it. Let's bring up the original G1. Now unfortunately mine, you can tell, has definitely got a bit of whitening on this, but otherwise it's a fantastic homage to it. It really is. Look at it, it's lovely. Again, great childhood memories on this particular figure. Have I got anything I can show you just to give you an idea of size? Just a couple of things actually. Let's have a look at this. So Studio Series collectors, there's your Deluxe Jolt. So pretty much that's the same size as all Studio Series cars, because again it's industry standard. And then we've got Evolution Deluxe animated Prowl, again much bigger, but of course these scale better with the masterpiece figures, exactly like what they're supposed to. But funnily enough, when you put them with the car mode, they don't really scale as well when they're in robot. It's the same as most companies, to be fair. They get the robot mode to scale really well, and then sometimes the vehicle mode suffers. But again, it's not about that. I don't really know many people, in honesty, myself included, who display masterpiece figures in their alternate mode. Even tracks, with tracks being as beautiful as what it is, I still wouldn't display him in his alternate mode. One other quick thing to say regarding the transformation, apologies it's not in this video. The main reason is to keep the length of the video down, so I've uploaded that and a separate tutorial as well, so hopefully that helps people in the future. And again, anybody who just wants to have a look at it, there's literally nothing else to say about this. It's brilliant, it's beautiful, and I'm really glad I took it off the shelf and gave it its time for a quick review. So let me know what you think of him in the comments, guys. Do you think he needs an update? Because that's what the other thing that they like to do with masterpiece figures, they like to update them quite a lot. I personally don't think this needs one at all. Maybe just a better set of accessories, and to be honest, I'm not too fussed about the rubber wheels because they would just perish in time anyway. But there we go. As I say, in regards to other videos regarding this, there is a fully detailed KO video on this channel as well, how to spot the differences, and there's a transformation tutorial as well. In the meantime, guys, hope you found this interesting. Take care. Apologies, I've just realized I obviously never showed you how to attach the wing mirrors. So as I said, these come on a sprue like this. There's two sets in case you lose some, which I think is brilliant. I've just took the two off now. There's these two little notches in the front of the bonnet, and you just push these in, he says, which can be a little bit more difficult than it looks, and that's obviously why they're giving you two sets. These just fit into the bonnet like so, just to give it the final finishing touch. But because this hasn't had them pushed in before, it's really stiff. I'm going to turn it around just to show you that side, just to give you an idea. And as I say, that is why they're pretty much not in mine. But there you go, wanted to show you anyhow because it is a feature, and to be honest, I don't think I'm going to keep them in anyhow. But there you have it. There's how you attach the wing mirrors as well.